All right, let's take two on that. So we're going to talk about understanding macros, what that means in terms of the fat component, the carbohydrate component, and the protein that we have as well. So we're going to talk about what are micronutrients, what are macronutrients, because there is a difference, how to count your macros, deciding on a breakdown, tracking, and recap on what actually is fats, protein, and carbohydrates, and how this process might not be for everyone as well. So a quick recap on who I am. My name is Simone Louise, and this is my journey over my three sons that I've had. My first son was born in 2014 and my third son in 2018. And over my journey of my three children, I've lost 57 kilos in total. So I always had really nice, healthy pregnancies, but I've always managed to put on quite a bit of weight as well. So this is the reason and my why that living a healthy lifestyle is so important to me and my family. Now, within the Fit for Life program, I help people understand how to manage a healthy lifestyle with your kids in tow. For me specifically, I'm part of a shift working family and my husband does really long hours. So having a traditional gym membership is not available to me because I've always got my children around me. So this is why I created a program that is really able to be adapted to any location, to anywhere that you need to work out with whoever you've got around you at the same time too. Now, during our last lockdown in 2021, I sat down, I was stuck at home, and I really started thinking about why. Why do people struggle so much with their health and fitness? And I started just jotting down on Post-it notes all these ideas of what I do each day that keeps my life healthier, happier, and in flow. And I basically developed all of those Post-it notes into an online course that has just launched a few weeks ago called Shifting to Healthy Habits. It's a 5-week online course that really breaks down everything from your goal setting techniques to your cleaning routine, to your meal preparation, exercising, and all of your lifestyle components, which is a really, really fun course. Now, we're going to get stuck into our course topic tonight, and we're talking about micronutrients. What are micronutrients? So micronutrients are one of the major groups of nutrients your body needs, and this includes your vitamins and your minerals. So vitamins are necessary for your energy production, for your immune function. It helps your blood clot, and it helps other processes within your body like digestion, going to the toilet. All of those things are built up with the micronutrients, which is what your food is made up of. Now, when we're talking about macronutrients, this is referring to carbohydrates, fat, and protein. They are the three basic components for every diet. So your macronutrient ratio doesn't directly influence your weight loss, but it definitely can help you lose weight as you're being more mindful of what you're eating and understanding your food a lot more as well. So to lose weight, you need to find a ratio that you can stick with, and you need to focus on your healthy foods. So essentially, you need to eat less food than the energy that you're burning each day. So if you're a very active person, you can eat more food because you're burning it off. If you're someone who sits at home all day or sits as an office job, you need to be more mindful of how much you're eating because you're not using up that energy. And when you don't use the energy, it stores on your body as fat. So let's have a look at carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates are the ones that get the worst rap. And these ones are the ones you hear so many diets about: low carb, keto, paleo. All these types of eating styles really want you to reduce carbohydrates to a very low level. Now, carbohydrates include sugar. That's part of what they are made up of, as well as starches and fiber. So most types of carbs get broken down into glucose, which is a sugar. And your body either uses it for immediate energy or it stores it in your body as glycogen. So carbs are found in foods like grains, your starchy vegetables, beans, dairy products, and fruit. So carbs typically make up the largest portion of people's calorie intake, especially in our Western diets. So what are fats? So fats have the most calories of all macronutrients. So what that means is that you get less portion for a food item that is made out of predominantly fats than carbohydrates or protein. So your body needs fat for energy. It simply cannot function without fats entirely. And fats are found in foods like oil, butter, avocado, nuts, meat, and some of your fatty fish as well. So your salmon, trout, and those oily types of fish, they all contribute to the fat component. We all know that fat doesn't mean bad, not necessarily. There's different types of fats. There are good fats and there are fats that we should be avoiding. So let's talk about protein. Now, it's recommended that protein is between 10 and 35% of your total calorie intake. And examples of protein-rich foods include egg whites, your poultry, your fish, tofu, and lentils. Now, protein is essential for our body's functioning as well. So it's really important to get a good variety of these three food groups into your diet. Now, one of the things that people struggle with is the fact that, okay, well, is it 10% or is it 35%? What should I be looking at? And the most difficult part to really explain here is that it depends. There is no specific right or wrong answer in a generic sense. You really need to look into how this works for your body individually and how this will best suit you. So how do we count our macros? What do we even do? Learning to count your macros, it does take a little bit of effort, but it is a method that anyone can use. There are a lot of online calculators and a lot of apps and different tools that you can use that will support you. So you don't need to understand the whole mathematical equation behind this. It is very long. If you're to do this process manually, you can expect to be sitting there for at least 15 or 20 minutes to do the manual calculation to move through all the steps. But there are so many online tools that can help you do this these days. And basically what you need to establish is what is your REE, and that is your resting energy expenditure. So what that really looks at is how many calories do you need in a day if you were simply not to move a single muscle? If you were to lay in bed all day long and not move, how much energy, as in calories, would I need just to live, to continue breathing, and just to lay there? Once you know your baseline of what that is, then you can start looking at how active am I? What are my goals in terms of gaining muscle, losing weight, maintaining, if that's what you're looking to do. So once you've got that baseline, then you can move into what your goals are and start working out your different ratio of food needs for the day. So you move into deciding on what your ideal breakdown is. Now, just as a general sense, what you can look at doing is setting up your carbohydrates to be about 30% of your total, your fats to be about 30%, and your protein to be about 40%. That is quite high in your protein. If you are new to calculating, you might want to just monitor what you're actually doing before you even start a goal. Just monitor exactly what you are eating and look at the breakdown from there. So I suggest using an app called Myfitnesspal. Now, this app is free. It does have a paid version. However, unless you are really looking to upskill yourself in a really dynamic way of athleticism or something like that, the free version really does everything you need it to do. Now, there are so many food tracking apps out there. There's literally hundreds of them. However, Myfitnesspal definitely is head and shoulders above any of the other apps out there. It is easy to navigate. You can even scan the barcodes on the food that you're eating, so you don't even need to type in what you're eating. You can simply scan the barcode on your tin of tuna or on the packet of crisps or whatever you're consuming. It is super easy to find, and it really walks you through how to look at food tracking. It keeps it as simple as possible. It gives you really nice graphs if you're a visual person and you just like to be able to see the pie chart down the bottom that says, okay, how am I tracking? Am I looking even throughout the day? So if you haven't downloaded this app, if you haven't used this app before, I would highly recommend it. You can also connect to your friends, so you can stay accountable to your friends in a circle, in a group. If you're working with a fitness professional, you can add your trainer into your app as well. And that always helps you stay on track a bit more when you know that someone is watching you in the background. So using Myfitnesspal is a great tool to be able to use if you like doing a more digital version. However, you can always do your standard food journal, just writing it down on a piece of paper. What am I eating at each meal? Now, that's not going to be as easy to break down your fats or carbohydrates and those types of things. If you're looking just for a very easy and simple way, just to maybe write it down to see how much food you eat in a day, you can definitely just do it with a pen and paper as well. So what are the benefits of tracking? Why would I want to do this? Now, it may improve your diet quality because the foods that you're going to choose to eat will be healthier because you're paying more attention to what you're eating. It can also help promote weight loss, again, because you're making better choices, more informed choices, and really sticking to your health and fitness goals. And that's how it gets specific in helping you with your goals, because when you are focusing on something you want to achieve, you're more likely to strive to get there. Now let's break down and have a look at what some of the carbohydrates are. So we're talking about grains like oats, brown rice, quinoa, and these are the good carbs that we want to be talking about right now, okay? So this is your whole wheat pasta or your whole grain bread. It's your starchy vegetables like your potatoes, sweet potato, and squash. It's fruits like berries, bananas, pineapple, and apples, beans, lentils, and peas. And there's even a component of dairy that has carbohydrates as well. So some milk and yogurt also has a carbohydrate in there. So what is our protein? Now, our protein is our egg white. Now, if you've ever followed anyone on social media or anyone that's doing anything really, really healthy, you might notice that they will have an egg white omelette and they take the yolks out. Now, the yolk is where the best part is of the flavor, essentially, but the whites is where the protein is and very low calories. So that's why people often do that. So other proteins are obviously your meat, poultry, fish, shellfish, your tofu. Again, milk and yogurt can have a protein component. Definitely you see a lot more with your Chobani yogurts and your YoPro yogurts and those types of things. And they're also coming out with more milks that have protein in them as well. But to be honest, some of it is a really artificial protein. So you would be best to stick to using natural, wholesome products than going for things that are made into having more protein and those types of things. And of course, your protein powders and supplements that you get as well. So what are fats? What is it what we're talking about here? So we're talking about your egg yolks. This is your olive and your avocado oils. This is butter, nuts and nut butters, so your peanut butter, your almond butter, cashew butter, all those things that you might use. Coconut oil, coconut flakes, avocado, full fat milk and cheese. So if you buy low fat or if you buy skim, what they essentially do is they scrape all the fat off the top of the milk, and then you're left with a reduced version of that, which is taking out a lot of the fat. However, sometimes when they take fat out, they put sugar in, so it is sweeter and it gives it more flavor. So just be mindful that if they're taking the sugar, if they're taking the fat out and putting sugar in, you're really not benefiting from that. It's not, you're really just compromising the health of what you're eating. So we've also got full fat cheese, flax seeds, chia seeds, and what have we got down the bottom there? I can't see it. Why is that not working? Why can't I see that last one? It's not coming up now. My screen won't let me read that last one for you. I hope you can see that on the screen there. All right, now let's talk about why this is not for everyone. So people who really thrive on structure may find that counting macros is ideal for their health goals. They may find it really beneficial, that it's regimented and it can happen like clockwork, right? You track your food and all those types of things. However, anyone with a history of an eating disorder should definitely steer clear from counting food in terms of macros and calories, okay? It can turn into a very unhealthy obsession if you're always looking, if you're always overthinking what you're actually having. This is definitely not a good idea to start tracking. So keep in mind that it's also possible to eat poorly while engaging in macro counting, because it permits all foods as long as the item fits into your macronutrient range. So this isn't going to stop you from going to eat McDonald's or having a Mars bar, because you might just compromise on other food you can eat for the day to have that item. So really paying attention to the 3 different components, the fats, carbohydrates, and protein, it makes you understand that you need to stay within that wheel of health. You need to be looking at all those components and not just calories overall. And this is one of the reasons why I really get disappointed with the Weight Watchers type programs. It's all about points, right? But there's some foods that are no points, other foods that are 1 or 2 points. It's really hard to understand what is going on. So I know, for example, within Weight Watchers, they tell you that eggs are no points at all. So they're free. So you don't count them into your day. However, in my opinion, if you're consuming food, then it has to have a value. You have to understand that it's got to be something of substance. It can't be 0, because that just means that you could eat eggs all day, every day, and not consume your right amount of points. However, you know that that's not going to help your weight, or that's not going to help you feel good. So being really mindful about the different programs, if you're signing up to something, if you're interested in something, thinking about how it works for lifelong health and happiness. Because it's all well and good to do something and just lose those 5 or 10 kilos. But when it comes to actually sustaining it, keeping it off for long term, you need a better strategy than just a quick fix, drop the weight. So how can I help you navigate through this? Now, the first thing you can do is jump on a free 15-minute discovery call with me, and I can help you to get clear on exactly the challenges that you need to overcome to optimize your health and body this year. If you're interested in macro tracking, if that's something you want to set up, I can most certainly help you get those goals in line, and you can we can have a breakdown. I can give you a rundown of how to use Myfitnesspal and what you need to do to optimize your health within that. Now, during the discovery session, we go through and analyze your current schedule, your lifestyle, your goals, your challenges, and see what's possible for you to achieve in the next 90 days. Then we'll dive into what your schedule is and how that works from week to week. When can you fit in your exercise? When are you going to do those workouts? When are you going to plan your meals and prioritize those key tasks? Because it's not the same for everyone. We all have a different routine and we all have a different time schedule. So helping you navigate out how that looks for you to make sure that you're going to really have some great success. And then lastly, just to keep it all together, I'll give you some recommendations on how to stay one step ahead no matter what happens and execute without excuses. So half the battle is staying accountable. Motivation will always come and go, but when you've got someone there that you know you can just bounce things off and get a quick answer on, you're more likely to stick to your goals and start seeing those big results. So in order to make the fit lifestyle stick for a long time, you need to have that discipline. You need to have structure, and creating these things will allow you to feel clear, confident, and excited about your future or health goals. So if you're interested in jumping in and having a quick 15-minute conversation with me, please feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to book you in and have a chat with you. So let's finish tonight on just talking about the best macronutrient ratio is the one that you can actually stick to. So to lose weight, you need to find a ratio that you can stick with, that you can focus on healthy foods and eat fewer calories than you burn. That's essentially it. If you want to lose weight, you've got to eat less than you move. If you want to maintain your weight, you need to find that right balance of how much you're eating to how much you're burning. And just looking after yourself in a holistic way, that you're just supporting yourself with all of the things that you can to live a healthier, happier lifestyle. And I like to remind everyone that anyone who is really living a healthy and happy lifestyle, it didn't happen overnight. We didn't just wake up one day and all of a sudden drink 2 liters of water and exercise each day and meal plan every week and, do all these things. It didn't happen overnight. It is a progression. It is a part of the journey. There really is no end destination for your health and fitness. It's an evolving journey and it continues as your life does. And as your environment changes, so does your healthy lifestyle. You need to adapt and grow with that as well. So I hope you enjoyed this information tonight. I hope you got a lot out of everything here. I know it was a lot to digest tonight. There's a lot of information there, but I would love to help you get on your health and fitness journey, kickstart your journey, start your journey wherever you are at. Feel free to reach out to me, send me a DM, and we can book in a time to have a chat and help you set up your health and fitness goals. So thank you very much. I appreciate you all for being here and spending the evening with me. And like I said, reach out if you need any help and support.